What's going on, folks? We're back. Tommy Talk, me, Zachariah Lyons. Good to see you all. Metaphorically speaking, of course. Been a while. Sorry, it's been a while, but let's hop to it. What do you say, Zach? Hop to it.
Let's dive right in. Yeah, it has been a minute, but life happens, TG.
Life does happen, and you know who else happens? Zach Hample happens. That foul ball guy does it again. Second inning, Diamondbacks Rays in Tampa in their temporary stadium. He reaches in. He supposedly interferes with the home run. They challenge for fan interference. They don't get it.
A minor league facility, so they don't have the yellow line. Makes this a little tougher to tell.
That's over the wall. And it's not like he was camped underneath it. There's no way.
After review, the call on the field stands. There's a home run.
Home run for Paris.
I have a take right now. First of all,
Fire.
watch the clip. In the clip, it's pretty clear. It's just barely inside of the wall. He's barely inside of the wall. He does not reach out into the field of play. If you look closely, I think you can see that. Number two, I remain a foul ball guy defender. I have been a foul ball guy defender. I might be the only foul ball guy defender in these streets. Listen, people have always hated on the GOATs. Brady, Michael Jordan, okay? And Zach Hample. He is the greatest at his craft to ever have done it. He cannot stop getting balls at baseball games. And the haters are going to hate as much as humanly possible. He's friends with Lisa Ann. That's pretty cool. Let's be honest with ourselves here. People would trade places to be in foul ball guys' shoes. I'm sorry. I am a foul ball guy for life. Zachary.
This is a Zag I was not expecting, to be honest, TG. This might be one of your worst takes. I'm going to be honest.
Disagreed.
We know this guy. We know this guy is a prick. We've seen it on Twitter enough times. Leave it for the kids, man. Let the kids catch the balls.
You know what? I will. Whenever I see a guy like catch a ball and not give it to the kid and stuff like that, I usually agree with you. But for this guy, this is his world. This is his thing. People who do that, they're not like the greatest to ever do it. He's the greatest to ever do it. And I've seen him give enough balls out to kids. Sometimes kids gotta learn a little lesson though too. You gotta learn, about greatness. You know what I mean? When Knicks fans' kids got their lungs ripped out by Michael Jordan, that probably hurt a lot too. But guess what? They got to learn something about the GOAT. And you know what? These kids have learned something about the GOAT. His presence is a present. Moving on, your Denver Nuggets. They fired Mike Malone. They also fired their manager, their general manager. This took me by surprise. I didn't see this coming personally. I bet you probably did to a certain degree.
I saw Booth. I did not see Malone, but we can get into that in a sec.
I'll let you take the brunt of this. I'm just going to say this: if they think that Adelson or Adelman can lead this team into the playoffs and can right the ship, then yeah, I understand this move. But if the idea is okay, Adelman's going to be kind of just middling around. He can't really do much, but we had to get rid of Malone. That's nonsense. Then they should have kept Malone for the rest of the playoffs, unless it was becoming a serious issue where Jokic was going to start, making a problem. Then I kind of get it. But still, I'll let you take it from here.
Yeah, so I saw the Booth move coming. There's just been no real movement on building a roster around Jokic since the title team. And honestly, a lot of the work of the title team was done by Tim Connolly, Tim Booth's predecessor. Of the top eight, I just picked out the top eight guys that played in the playoffs, right? By minutes played in that 2023 season. Only two of those guys are Booth acquisitions, right? That's KCP and Bruce Brown. Every single other guy that was a significant player on the title team was a Connolly acquisition. So I saw the Booth move coming for sure. Um, it's difficult to, he is technically the championship GM, and we should congratulate him for that. But
Yes.
we know his predecessor laid a lot of groundwork. Malone surprised me, like you said. Um, it's he is
Toxic?
it's perhaps, and it sounds like the relationship was the relationship with Booth and Malone was to the point where folks were taking sides in the locker room. You're either a Booth guy, locker room and the front office. You're either a Booth guy or a Malone guy. That can't be healthy for the organization. But I always just thought Booth was going to be the one to fall. Um, and I think this just signals that Murray is not healthy and not coming back for the playoffs, and this is a punt on this season completely. And I don't think anyone in that front office cares if they get swept in the first round right now, which is a weird state to be in 2 years post championship.
I The fact that they're punting on the playoffs, I think is. I mean, I get it. Yeah, Murray not being there would be obviously a real kick to the nads, but I don't know. You don't have that much time. Your championship window is open and close. I guess when you have a guy like Jokic, you can kind of bend things around and can make things better. But it just seems to me to be kind of impulsive, just to not even give your best shot in the playoffs. But yeah, I don't know everything that's going on there. Josh Kroenke seemed to think that it was the right move, and I'll trust Josh Kroenke for the most part.
I see. I'm gonna hard disagree with you on Josh because I feel like I watched his, they had him sit down on an Instagram interview with Vic Lombardi today, and he was insistent that this is the right group, and the man in charge of the coaching staff, being Malone, was not getting the most out of this
Well,
group.
that's
And
that's fair. Yes, I'll say that's
I
fair.
cannot disagree with that more. This is Calvin Booth has not supplied Malone with the ingredients that he needs to build a championship roster, a championship team in the last 2 years post winning the finals against the Heat. Um, it's it sucks because I feel like Malone is almost being the fall guy. They didn't talk about the Malone is the fall guy for this when all they're saying about Booth is his contract will not be extended, whereas they straight up fired Malone.
Well, I mean,
Um,
Booth is out too.
yeah, I know, but it's not a move that they had to make. I just thought he could coexist with the new GM being such a successful NBA coach, and I don't know. It's just
Just not. That's
um,
not happening.
I don't know who I just don't know who they're going to go get. That's an improvement right now on this coaching market.
We'll see. Moving on. Last night, your University of Florida Gators, national champions. What a run! What a run! What a run! The haters, the losers, of which there were many, doubted us time and time and time and time again. We came back time and time and time and time and time again. And you doubted us against Maryland, against not Maryland, against Texas Tech, and then we proved you wrong. Todd Golden did something special with this group. Walter Clayton Jr., I understand he's a little old for the draft. I get that. But any NBA team that gets him is going to be lucky. That guy has it in his jump shot. I swear. Is he going to be a star? Probably not, but he'll give you good minutes in the league. I will tell you that much. They'll say they only led for 63 minutes in that game, but guess what? They held Houston to 63 points, and that's all that matters. They won in the end, and Gainesville went absolutely nuts. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I think it's impressive. I've giving you shit about the Gators, trailing in their last four games in the tournament, but by even 10 plus at certain points and winning all those games. It's um, you can frame it and say it's they were putting themselves in losing positions, or you could just say they showed incredible resilience, which they
I'll
really
take the
did throughout the
second thing.
tournament. Yeah, no, that's what I'm going to say too. And creepy ass Todd Golden has built he's built a really solid roster. They can just throw a lot of, it feels like every single guy they bring off the bench is just like 6'7" or taller. They can defend every position. They can rebound. Just really solid team construction that led to this national championship. I like their squad.
Nice. I agree. Well, not the creepy part. And whatever. We're not talking about those things. What we are talking about is national championships. And 3 for the University of Florida, 3 in basketball, 3 in football. The only school to do it. Pretty incredible, if you ask me. The only school this century to have championships in football, basketball, and baseball. What a university. The everything school is what they're calling it. The everything school. Finally, the celebrations were crazy in Gainesville. Guy climbs on top of a traffic light pole, right on top of the traffic lights, and he's swaying it up and down, and up and down, and up and down, and he falls off. And the video I sent you is you could see him fall right on the ground. I mean, just a brutal hit right there. Apparently the guy was okay. I'm guessing he got arrested because the cops swarmed, and he should, whatever. The debauchery was going to be happening in Gainesville when they won, and it didn't disappoint. If I were that, first of all, there is a feat of impressive athleticism in that, because he definitely was hammered. Being hammered and being able to shimmy up that pole and then shimmy yourself across all the way to those traffic lights and then get yourself all the way over there and stay on it for that long before you fell over. That's some athleticism. I think Todd Golden should give him a call after everything's said and done. Thoughts?
Yeah, I was surprised to hear you say that guy was completely okay, because I watched that video and I thought like fractured tailbone or something.
Apparently he was okay. The caption in the video said he was okay. So I'm gonna guess that's probably the case.
Wow. Well, I hope he enjoyed his night in the tank. I'm sure he had a lot of buddies in Gator gear in there with him to celebrate with. So I'm sure not all was lost. But just really, I don't know, really impressive effort from the students in Gainesville in general. You can grease the light poles, but
they're not stopping them.
They're just gonna do it anyways. So
imagine if the Buffs won a national championship, what Boulder would be like. Boulder will riot even without winning any games. Imagine Boulder rioting after winning a championship. Think about that for a second.
I almost want to keep like a couch just like in reserve or in storage, just so I have one, like on hand, ready to burn. Like just in case, because I don't want to do that to my nice couch.
True, that's true.
Like
most college couches are not very nice. 1 and 2. Are you going to do that in your neighborhood or something? That'd be funny.
Yeah, I mean, I live close enough to Boulder.
Yeah, 20 miles away is definitely close enough. More than 20 miles, right?
Denver, Hamden.
You gonna give away your location right now?
I'm not. Don't dox me.
Give me your address, Zachary. Tell them where they can send their fan mail.
I will not. You can tweet me.
Downer. In any case, folks, thank you all for watching and or listening. Congratulations to the 2025 national champions, University of Florida Gators men's basketball team.
Also, can I get a shout out real quick?
To who?
Shout out to my mother, who I think has just won her third bracket pool. That I host a yearly pool. She has won it 3 times. It is agonizing. I have never won my own pool. And shout out to her as well. She also won the women's tournament pool I entered. So 2 for 2 this year for my mom. Shout out.
Is your mom? Let me ask you this: does your mom pay any attention to college basketball at all?
None whatsoever until the tournament starts.
I mean, if you want to talk about just the ultimate stereotype, the person that has no clue about college basketball winning the bracket pools. I almost don't even want to do bracket pools anymore because the only time I've ever won a bracket pool is when I put in the wrong thing. I accidentally put in the wrong pick in my bracket in one pool I did back in high school, and I won it. That was the only time I ever won on a fluke. Garbage.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you, man. It's like my strategy with this year was to do less research, right? Because I feel like I always overthink it, and I'm looking at Ken Palm and BPI and all this analytics shit, and I'm like, why not just do the same shit that all the people that always win your pool do, and just not look at anything and see what happens? And that didn't work either. So I don't know where to go with this, man.
This was the perfect year too because there wasn't the crazy upsets and the Cinderella stories. I mean, I got the champion right, Florida. That didn't take a great feat of of knowledge to know that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that was a relatively savvy pick. I don't think it was a 1 seed anyways. And we didn't have anything crazy going on. We literally had 4 1 seeds. 4. The last time that happened was 2008. Crazy stuff. In any case, folks, thank you all for listening. I'm Tom again. That is Zach Lyons, or watching. You're probably watching. And this is Tommy Talk. Love you, love you, love you, love you, love you. I love you, Zach. And goodbye.